Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to another solid episode of People's Questions. We got a I'd say pretty standard and typical episode with, I believe, maybe only one newbie. I may be wrong. So jumping right into the first question, which also inspired the wearing of this shirt. First question comes from Matt Cruse. He wants to know, which Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show was my favorite? Oh, the Pink Ranger. Oh God, I just love Kimberly. I mean, Tommy was cool and all, but Kimberly was where it was at. I mean, Tommy as the Green Ranger did inspire me to not only make green my favorite color, but bunch of just cool other elements. But yeah, Kimberly, really love Kimberly. I hope you realize I'm being sarcastic. Of course it was the Green Ranger. I mean, who else? I mean, don't get me wrong, the other 5 Rangers were great and all, but they weren't badasses like him. When he showed up, he just took over the show, and Tommy's just, in my opinion, the greatest Ranger of all time, regardless of what season he was in. So yeah, Green Ranger. Next question comes from, I believe, a newbie. I may be wrong, but I believe your name goes by the name of Abel. And I can't really say your last name, so I'll just leave it right here. But you want to know, what is my least favorite death battle? Or death battles? 2 that really stand out to me that I really just cannot stand are the Cloud versus Link matchup and Majin Buu versus Kirby. I think Majin Buu versus Kirby is probably the worst one they've ever done. I thought that was just, the outcome of that was just ridiculous on the highest scale, and that just tells you just how badly they manipulate this fight. And even their logic made virtually no sense, if they even understood. I mean, animes have a really bad they have a really bad track record on death battles, but that one, they just went way too far. I hate that matchup. Next question comes from Goku's son, and you want to know, who do I think would win a fight between Nathan Drake and Desmond Miles? Nathan Drake, it's not even a match. Desmond Miles sucks. Don't like him. Don't like his character. Nathan Drake would just demolish him. Next question comes from Santiago Scarpino. You want to know, which is my favorite Dragon Ball Z Abridged character? Go Snapper. Hands down. Love Go Snapper. I mean, even though he's not really present in the later episodes, but when he shows up, every line, every scene he's in, he absolutely steals. Love Nappa. Next question comes from Zyborg136, and you want to know, what do I think would happen if Anakin did not kill Count Dooku in episode 3? Someone uploaded a video talking about what would probably happen, and I'd have to agree. I mean, if Anakin didn't kill Dooku, then Palpatine would kind of realize that there's a possibility of being founded out. I mean, I'm sure Count Dooku don't like the idea of having his hands cut off. And I think if he was given an opportunity to expose Palpatine, I think he would, once he realized that he was being thrown away. I mean, that was kind of what that emotion Count Dooku showed to Palpatine when Palpatine told Anakin to kill him. He was like, "What? This isn't what we talked about." It's like, so I don't know. I think Anakin might still turn, possibly, maybe, but I can't be entirely sure. But I definitely think that Palpatine would probably have to change his plans, probably speed them up, because now there's the possibility of being discovered. That's what I just think would happen off the top of my head. Next question comes from Tanuki Player, and you want to know, if there was one video game series that I could turn into a TV series, what would it be? Mass Effect. Hands down. You could easily do something like a Star Trek series, or there are plenty Sci-Fi Channel great space exploration series, and I think Mass Effect would work perfectly. I don't think you could do a Mass Effect movie, just because there's just so much to it, so much exploration, so much action, so many characters, and just so many different paths. But you could absolutely do an entire television series. You could do several seasons of a Mass Effect television series. Next question is probably the longest question of the episode, coming from HydroGoBlood881. If you want to know, you have created a character whose combat style is a hybridization of Forms 2, 3, and 4 of lightsaber combat, respectively, along with training from Form 6 for incorporating force attacks into saber sequences. Given the styles that you have chosen, what are the possible weaknesses of this hybridized forms? Okay, to me, it sounds like you've created a Shakti-like character. especially with the combinations of forms 2 and 4. The problem is that you ostensibly are a little bit too flexible because you don't need to be particularly trained in Form 6 in order to use Force powers. You can apply, Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi use Force powers in lightsaber combat all the time, but they're not proficient Form 6 users. Shakti, what she was able to do was kind of mix Forms 2 and 4. I think that anyone who fought during the Clone Wars had to be proficient in Forms 3 because you're dealing with droids, and so blaster fire. In fact, it's even stated that only top level masters who had an experienced use with Sarisu could have survived the initial battle of Geonosis, because when there are that many droids around, there's that much shooting. If your defenses are not extremely good, you got gunned down, and that's what most Jedi during that fight ended up being. They were gunned down. The problem with hybridizing this form is you fall into what Count Dooku called enslavement to form. Because you have spread yourself out so thin, you can never be truly good at one particular form. And I think that someone like Shakti probably would not do very well against someone like Count Dooku, who really took Form 2 to its highest possible level. And I think that he knew enough about the other forms that there's really nothing that Shakti could throw at him that would surprise him. And so if she tried to take his Form 2 of her own, she would lose. Form 3 would only delay the inevitable. Form 4 is not a good fight. It's not a good form to use for long-standing engagements. And heck, if he was able to deal with Yoda, he could easily deal with Shakti. And in terms of force powers, she's completely trumped. And so that is the potential weakness of having a hybridization of multiple forms, is that because you've spread your skill set so thin, you're never a true master of any one form. That's why most people choose one form to truly master, like that is their focus form, and they may apply elements of other forms as like backup options, which is kind of why someone like Obi-Wan Kenobi, his main primary focus was Sarisu, but he understood that he had to add an offensive form as a backup option when the opportunity presented itself, which is why his backup form, I believe, was Form 2, which is what he was studying under Qui-Gon Jinn. But after he saw Qui-Gon Jinn die, he decided that he needed a defensive form, and that's kind of what he did. So I think that your character best describes someone like Shakti, but she certainly would not last for long against someone like Count Dooku. That's just the potential weakness, is that you would not be able to go up against a dedicated master of any one form, especially a Form 2 master. Sorry for the long explanation. And the last question of the episode comes from JDS4696. And you want to know, do I think that Horizon Zero Dawn will be the best PlayStation 4 exclusive title this year? There is a possibility. There is a very big possibility, because I gotta tell you, I'm already about, I'd say, 30 hours into Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm loving it. I'm glad I got to play this at PlayStation Experience. I had a feeling that it was going to be probably one of the best games I played this year, and it's definitely proving itself. I'm trying to get through it as quickly as I can, but I can't really do that because I'm being sidelined by so many side quests, so it's taking me longer. So, like, the second I get this game beaten, I will post up a review for it as quickly as I can. But I'm absolutely loving this game. I'm not going to go so far as to say that it will be my favorite game of the year, but I would absolutely put it in the category as definitely being a worthy contender for game of the year. It's a little bit too soon because, Mass Effect is coming out, and I'm really pumped up for that game too. But I would say so far this year, it's probably the best game I've played so far this year, even though the year for gaming has just really started. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, those are the questions that you guys sent for this episode. I'd like to thank all of you guys out there that made your questions possible to make this episode happen. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check for my future videos. And if you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below. Make sure you get them into me before next Wednesday, before I start filming this, and make sure it's only one question per person. And like always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.